Fellow graduates, friends, family, faculty, we are gathered here today to join these graduates and these diplomas in holy gratification. If there are any of those who oppose this righteous union, let them speak now or forever hold their peace. Object! Objection. Is there anyone of importance who would like to No? By the power vested in me is @blacklantern at twitter.com. I now pronounce us almost graduated and this bit over. 12 years, 2 school districts, 4 ACTs, 24 fake sports analogies, 1.5 million missing dollars, and a polar vortex have all led to this day. Graduation. And just as I would with any other paper I've written for Dana, Hughes, Swagger, or Hyatt, I finished this at midnight last night. And while this version may seem a bit rocky, the first draft was so rough I was beginning to chafe. Trying to come up with topics for this speech was so excruciatingly hard, I had to lubricate my mind by watching other valedictorian speeches on YouTube. Even this morning, my nerves were in such a delicate state, I had to down a quart of Pepto-Bismol to clog myself up so I could stand before you today. Announced a basketball game, and even crawled around the mall like a dog. Yet this is the most nerve-wracking public event so far. Although I am not sure what my fellow valedictorians will discuss, I assume their speeches will be more inspirational and memorable than whatever you call this. I'm not going to preach about dreams or success in the future. I'll save that for the more excel motivators. If anything, we've all experienced enough these past 12 years that any one of my fellow graduates deserves to stand up here and speak. Who am I to shove success into their faces when any one of them could become more successful than me? Live your life the way you want to, and don't let anyone stand in your way. I guess that's my message. Anyway, due to my lack of focus, I've decided to end my speech with some shout-outs that made my high school experience what it is. Class of 2014, you should specifically enjoy this. First, shout out to the aforementioned polar vortex for allowing me to sleep in a glorious 11 days this winter. Shout out to blizzard bags for tainting those snow days, but for also not making us have to push back our last day. Shout out to Dylan Alexander for helping me execute that bit at the beginning we've been planning for the last month. Shout out to the Jonathan Alder High School dress code for never exactly being enforced as much as the administration likes to tell us. Shout out to kidney stones for being the only things harder to pass than Doc Morson's test. Shout out to analogies for being as easy to create as passing a kidney stone. Shout out to Helen Keller jokes for never being not funny, no matter how inappropriate or offensive they appear. Shout out to all the tennis. Yes. Special shout out to the yearbook staff who graciously selected me as the winner of the 2014 Best Tweets voting. A title that not only has never before existed, but will also fade into obscurity within the next 10 years. Shout out to the secret deal I made that keeps my Twitter account funny. If I don't rack up at least 7 favorites a week, Satan will make my firstborn son listen to Nickelback. Shout out to Homecoming 2013 for being the most glorious disaster I've ever had to play. Shout out to Plain City for being able to fully encapsulate the atmosphere of itself within its own name. Shout out to Katie and Audrey, my 2 little sisters, who will one day do great things and stand on this stage. Shout out to my mom and dad for creating, feeding, raising, encouraging, rewarding, supporting, and loving me all this time. I wouldn't have been up here without you guys.
Probably.
shout out to my fellow graduates, the class of 2014. We may be on the road to nowhere, but at least we've had some fun detours along the way.